I do know this, that it would discourage, in my opinion, it would discourage bootlegging, and you'd have less contraband liquor brought into the state than you would with a lower tax. Now, whether or not it would encourage more consumption, I'm not in a position to say. I think that's something that none of us could say.
The salesman going to Missouri, he'll stock up on 5 or 6 bottles and bring them back. And he's got 5 or 6 bottles around, he'll drink it. Now, if he buys it in the corner store, he'll buy it a bottle at a time. I think all of us here, we don't have to kid ourselves. We buy a fifth, and you hate to carry it home, that type of thing. I think this goes toward temperance, I really do.
I do know this, that it would discourage, in my opinion, it would discourage bootlegging, and you'd have less contraband liquor brought into the state than you would with a lower tax. Now, whether or not it would encourage more consumption, I'm not in a position to say. I think that's something that none of us could say.
The salesman going to Missouri, he'll stock up on 5 or 6 bottles and bring them back. And he's got 5 or 6 bottles around, he'll drink it. Now, if he buys it at his corner store, he'll buy it a bottle at a time. And I think all of us here, we don't have to kid ourselves. We buy a fifth, and you hate to carry it home, that type of thing. I think this goes toward temperance, I really do.
If we continue with this tax at $2.50 or higher, gentlemen, my acquaintance with the bootleg element in this state from simply a tax consultant angle and the knowledge of how they have worked, as well as with the attorneys here, I think that you're going to find that you're only increasing the bootleg industry in those remote areas that are going to be difficult for the board or any portion of the board to control. Those with whom I have come in contact, and several of whom I have made out their tax returns for the last several years, the answer is yes to those with whom I am acquainted.
Honestly, the one thing that we do not know is the why of an accident. We know where an accident occurs and what happened and when it happened, but we simply do not know why. There is a tremendous need for research into human behavior in an effort to find out how we can get this understanding over to people and create common sense attitudes. I personally believe that if we could direct more of our efforts toward influencing people within the family circle, we might make more headway. Because in a family circle, you have great forces working for you. The protective instinct of parents for their children, the love of the family, each member for the others, and finally the direct personal and immediate economic consequences of an accident to a member of a family.
Introduced another bill, which is House Bill 943, which would also be limited to the amount of money needed to match federal monies. However, I create a highway authority who would really construct the roads. After they have constructed them, and they would use the money, of course, from the sale of liquidating notes, self-liquidating notes. And then whenever the road is complete, the Highway Commission would in turn repay them on a rental basis for the construction cost. Of course, in time, the notes would be retired, which draw some 3% interest, which the state treasurer will purchase, and other people can purchase, in particular banks who are holding state deposits. I give them preference because, as you know, there's a bill that S-cheat bill, they call it, amounts to millions of dollars, and I felt maybe the banks would be willing to buy these notes if the state furnished the money and then paid them interest would be still a pretty good deal. And yet we would have plenty of money to match all federal money. We're going to need about $100 million for the next 4 years in state money to match some $150 million in federal money.